Kasi po, Mr. President, napansin ng representasyon na ito na meron po tayong budget for learning materials for learners with disabilities. Pero wala pong specific line item allocation, halimbawa, doon sa child fine system. Ito po ay napaka-importante, Mr. President, kasi kung wala naman itong child fine system, hindi rin po natin malulocate o ma-identify kung ilan po yung mga mag-aaral natin na merong disabilities sa buong bansa, kung nasa ang eskwela po sila. At hindi rin po natin malalaman kung ilan ang mga naka-enroll sa mga eskwelahan. So mahihirapan po tayo kahit na alam natin na napaka-importanting masuportahan po natin lahat. Ngunit kung hindi naman po natin alam kung sino-sino sila at kung nasaan sila sapagkat wala nga pong line item na nakalagay sa budget, ito naman po itinatadhana ng batas, mahihirapan po tayo, Mr. President. This representation tried since last week to inquire from the LBRMO kung talaga pong nakapaglagay ang DepEd ng line item ayon po sa itinatadhana ng batas. Ngunit hanggang ngayon po ay mukhang sila'y nahihirapan din na tingnan mula sa DepEd. Parang wala nga po, Mr. President.
Mr. President, meron po. Ito pala. DepEd budget 100 million pesos for 2026 sa NEP, Provision of Learning Resources for Learners with Disabilities.
Sa NEP po yun, Mr. President. Kung titignan po ninyo sa HGAB, na wala po yun. Yun po yung hinahanap natin.
Ayun, na magic.
At ang nakikita po nating malinaw, materialis po for learners for disabilities. Maliwanag po yun. Ngunit kung ang pag-uusapan natin para malocate po natin, nasaan po lahat ang mga mag-aaral po nating may disabilities, wala po tayong magagamit na pantustos dyan sapagkat wala po yung child fine system. Hindi lamang po yun, Mr. President. Sana'y nagkakamali po ako pero wala rin po yung hiring of specialists for diagnosis and assessment of LWDs and the prescription of appropriate intervention. Sana nagkakamali din po ako, Mr. President, na wala din po yung to defray expenses in the delivery of related services stated in Section 4P. Ito nga po yung sa transportation and various developmental, corrective and other support services for student with disabilities. Mr. President, kung wala po ang line item na ito na napaka-importante, kahit na po magsama-sama tayong lahat dito, ipahayag natin ang ating interes na tulungan ang ating mga mag-aaral na may disabilities, ngunit may kakulangan po sapagkat na maring kaligtaan po. Napaka-importante po ng line item na ito. Mr. President, kaya ko lamang po sinubukan na maalaman talaga. Sana po ay makita na po natin. Kahit na po tapos na yung individual amendments, Mr. President, siguro po ay ang representasyong ito isusulat sa ating chairman para sa ganun makahanap pa po tayo ng fiscal space. Nakita ko po kasi yung opisina po ng PCO na nagka-doble-doble po yung paglalagay po nila ng gastusin tungkol sa pag-uos natin ng ASEAN. Binabalak ko po na meron po akong dinrap na sulat, baka sakaling doon po natin makita. Kung sakasakaling, ito pong tatlong items na ito ay talagang hindi na ilagay na line item sa ating na kinukonsider for 2026, Mr. President. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President. Maraming salamat.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. President, I would like to thank the Senator from Tarlac for raising that issue, and I promise, Mr. President, to my colleagues that after this, I would confer with the Chairman, Committee Chair sa Public Health at saka sa DSWD as well as Finance Committee Chair para pag-usapan ito yung mga budget na karapat-dapat para matugunan itong mga pinag-usapan natin dito. Tulad sinabi nga ni Senator Marcoleta na walang saysay itong pinag-usapan natin para tayo susuporta dito sa mga magagandang programa natin pamalaan kung nawawala naman daw yung budget at wala naman daw sa NEP, if correct me if I'm wrong. So that has to be addressed right away. Thank you for that, for being a keen observant on that matter, the good Senator from Tarlac. Maraming salamat po, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that the speech of the gentleman from Isabela and Davao, Senator Tulfo, together with all the interpellations, be referred to the Committee on Health and Demography.
So referred.
Oh, same topic, Mr. President. So I move, withdraw my motion, Mr. President, so that the good Senate President may also weigh in on the.
No, in fact, Mr. President, I was going to support your motion, but I wanted to know where you would want to refer the speech of the gentleman. Senator Tulfo.
It was to the Committee on Health and Demography, sir.
Okay, because,
Would you want an additional reference
yes, Mr.
or
President,
referral?
I filed Senate Bill 194. It was last July. This is an act recognizing difference in neurodevelopment, upholding the rights of neurodivergent people, and instituting a national care and support plan for neurodiversity. Now, it was referred to the Committee on Social Justice and the Committee on Health secondarily. So may I know if that is the proper thing to do on this particular speech? Would it be health or social justice first?
May I ask for a minute suspension, Mr. President, just to make sure we check
Session
the
is
rules.
suspended.
It was referred to the Committee on Social Justice. Usually, social justice, you discuss reforms, programs for the indigent patients, yung mga programs ng DSWD, yan yung factor dyan. On the bill of the Senate President, Mr. President, it has a big health component. So maybe we'll just reverse the referral. So I move, Mr. President, with the permission of the body, that the bill of Senate President Tito Soto be referred to the Committee on Health and Demography as well as
Primarily.
Social Justice. As the
Primarily.
primary committee is Health and Demography.
Secondarily,
And secondarily is the Committee on Social Justice.
An objection? Hearing none, the motion is approved.
And at the
Then-
same time, what we
Yeah.
can do also, Mr. President, is that
Privilege speech.
the privilege speech and all the interpellators or interpellations be placed primarily the Committee on Health and Demography as well as secondarily to the Committee on Social Justice. I so move, Mr. President. I so move, Mr. President.
Approved.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Mr. President, we'll take up the bill of Senator Bam, but I think mag-interpellate yata si Senator Ping. Si Ma'am na lang po po natin. Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President, I move that we
Sandali lang.
President, I move that we consider Senate Bill number 1482 under Committee Report number 6. This is the Classroom Building Acceleration Program. I so move, Mr. President.
1482? Or 18?
Yes,
What did you
the
say?
first item on our agenda for interpellation, Senate Bill number 1482. Mr. President.
1482. All right. Any objection? Hearing none. Approved.
Thank you. We'd like to recognize the sponsor of the measure, Senator Bam Aquino, our distinguished colleague from Tarlac and the Republic of the Philippines, and to interpret our distinguished Senate President Pro Tem, Senator Panfilo Lacson.
Senator Bam Aquino is recognized to sponsor and to interpolate the President Pro Tem, Senator Ping Lacson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Will the distinguished sponsor of this measure yield the floor to this representation for a few clarificatory questions?
I would be very honored, Mr. President.
Thank you. At the outset, Mr. President, it goes without saying that this representation is fully supportive of your honor's initiative, no, to accelerate the construction of classrooms and school buildings. However, there are some issues that need to be resolved or at least clarify with the end in view of making sure that once enacted into law, the measure will truly serve its purpose and not end up as a dead letter law. No?
Yes,
Kasi
Mr.
maraming issues po rito. First off, Mr. President, under Section 3 of Senate Bill 1482, yung civil society organization or CSO refers to a non-state, non-profit association that works to improve society and the human condition. The basic types of which include non-government organizations, civic organizations, cooperatives, social movements, professional groups, and business groups. No, I think you called this provision under Section 3 from the DILG Memorandum Circular, no, 2025-050, kasi parang verbatim. Ano? However, under the new Government Procurement Act or Republic Act 12009, CSOs or People's Organization, POs, are to be invited as observers throughout all the procurement process. However, non-government organizations are allowed to participate in negotiated procurement, you know, when an appropriation law or ordinance earmarks an amount to be specifically contracted out to non-government organizations. There goes the problem, Mr. President. Kasi kung i-involve natin ng mga CSOs sa construction ng buildings, one way or the other, directly or indirectly, at na-interchange natin yung definition ng non-government organization with CSOs, baka magnapolis tayo rito.
Okay.
So how do we resolve this issue, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President, maybe to give a background why we included CSOs. During our hearings, nalaman ho natin that our CSOs like Hope Foundation, Angat Buhay, the Chinese Chamber were actually building classrooms at a much cheaper rate than DPWH. At maganda naman po yung kanilang nagawa. In fact, through different senators here, marami rin pong nasuportahan dyan in the past who were able to complete classrooms. In fact, I found out recently that there's one NGO, I think, that has made more classrooms than DPWH. So what we included, Mr. President, is we included CSOs with track record in school building para masigurado na wala pong fly-by-night NGOs or CSOs ang masasama dito. We also included that DepEd will come out with their own guidelines with regard to which CSOs can participate in the classroom building program, Mr. President.
And even NGOs, provided that they will not be allowed to participate in biddings, no? Because as I understand, Mr. President, yung participation ng NGOs at saka CSOs, limitado sa mga free, di ba? Pero kung gagamit ng public funds, and i-involve natin yung participation ng NGOs, and they will be allowed to participate in biddings, no? In the construction of school buildings and classrooms, medyo may problema tayo. Kasi merong conflict of interest.
What is the conflict of interest, Mr. President?
Because if we involve the NGOs,
Yes.
and they will participate in the biddings, and they will actively participate in the monitoring, etc., nandun ang conflict of interest.
Mr.
So
President.
probably, pwede tayo maglagay ng caveat,
Yes.
na provided that they will not
Monitor themselves.
monitor themselves.
Yes, exactly, Mr. President.
Yeah, anyway, at the proper time, maybe we can use the proper language
Yes.
to clarify that particular issue.
Yes, Mr. President.
But I have
Definitely.
no objection to allowing NGOs to be active partners in the school building program of the government.
In fact, Mr. President, I think Senator Marcos also wrote us with similar concerns. And we can work with your offices to propose the proper language to have a tighter definition at the proper time, Mr. President.
Now, let's run some numbers, Mr. President. For the period 2022, or i-move na lang natin a little further, 2020 hanggang 2025, ang total na appropriations para sa school building, yung BFF, yung facilities fund, Basic Education Facilities Fund.
Yes, Mr.
Umabot
President.
na siya ng 91 billion 279 million pesos, more or less. So, ang na-construct na classrooms during the same period, para apples to apples, 2022 to 2025.
Yes, Mr.
Ang
President.
total number of classrooms, 14,005. Kasama din dito yung not yet started, NYS. Pag binilang lang natin yung completed saka ongoing, 7,172 yung completed, ongoing 4,962. For a total of 12,132 classrooms. Ang average space or land area needed to construct one classroom is 63 square meters. Okay. If we multiply 12,132 sa 63 square meters, ang lalabasan dyan is 882,315 square meters, or 88.2 hectares. Gusto ko lang pong ibangga doon sa so far appropriated or yung na-utilized sa construction ng classrooms, which is huge, 91. Please correct me if I'm wrong, baka mali yung computation ko.
Yes, Mr. President.
Kasi kung gano'n ang numbers na nakikita natin, meron tayong nagagastos na sa 12,132 na 36.396 billion.
Mhm.
Ang total amount na do sa BEFF, Basic Education Facilities Fund, 2022 to hanggang 2025, 91.279 billion. So kung 36 billion lamang yung nagagawa at saka ongoing, meron tayong unspent fund in the amount of 54.883 billion. May I know the status of the 54.883 billion, Mr. President?
Yes, Mr. President, we'll have to check that status, no, kung ano pong nangyari dun sa perang yan in 2022, 2023, and 2024. But for 2025, Mr. President, yung completion po ng DPWH is really only at 60. In fact, our numbers, Mr. President, is much lower than your numbers in terms of completed classrooms. Kung yung pondo po na hindi nagamit ay napunta po sa savings or na-realign, we'll have to check that. But for 2025, they will definitely not meet what was allocated to them. In fact, napakalayo po, Mr. President. And what we understand to be the reason for this backlog is because only DPWH was allowed to build classrooms in the period that you had mentioned. From 2022 to 2025, only DPWH can build classrooms for the Department of Education, Mr. President. Kaya primarily, yung bill po natin, tinatanggal po sa DPWH yung responsibilidad na gumawa ng classrooms at kinakalat po natin sa mas maraming local government units and participating non-government organizations. So primarily, Mr. President, the reason why we're pushing for this bill is because we feel that DPWH, as seen by the numbers that you have stated, cannot really implement the needs of our country nor of our children. Now, with regard, Mr. President, to the 2025 budget, pwede pa po yung ma-realign, pwede pa po yan magamit because the year is not done. But for 2022 to 2024, Mr. President, we can check now kung saan po napunta po yung hindi nagamit na pondo.
I have you the breakdown, and you're correct, kasi pag completed school buildings or classrooms ang pinag-uusapan, nasa 7,172 lang. Kasi
Even
yung
lower, Mr. President.
4,960, yun yung ongoing. Kaya ang aking total, 12,132. Yung not yet started, yung 1,873. Now, ang breakdown, tama po kayo, 2025, ang completed, 7 lang eh.
Mr. President,
As of October 31, 2025.
well, we have the
Maybe mas
latest.
update.
Yes,
Okay.
our latest numbers is 60, Mr. President.
60 from 7 as of October 31.
Yes, Mr. President.
All right. Ongoing 423. Nabawasan siguro sa datos ninyo yung ongoing.
Mr. President, 60 ang completed, may ongoing, but the target was actually much bigger than the ongoing. So meaning, based on target, malayo pa rin yun, Mr. President. Even if they finish the ongoing, malayo pa rin yun sa target po, Mr. President.
And that's the intent of this bill para ma-accelerate.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yeah. So, ang isang related question is, yung DepEd po ba mayroong technical and financial capability to properly evaluate the CSOs that will be tapped? Or will DepEd hire additional engineering and audit personnel to manage and monitor these projects?
Mr. President, according to DepEd, and we've met with them numerous times, that they can manage this. In fact, they recently had a classroom.
On their own?
Yes, Mr. President. They had a classroom summit where they discussed the plans to build more classrooms with the private sector, with LGUs, with NGOs, Mr. President. And we've aligned with them at lumalabas naman po na handa po sila dito po sa challenge na ito.
Meron na ba silang initial inventory ng mga CSOs that will be tapped for the purpose?
Wala pa, Mr. President. Not for this. They have a list of partners that have been raising funds on their own and donating classrooms to DepEd. Pero yung magpa-participate po dito sa CAP bill, Wala pa po because we don't know which of those NGOs will participate in this cap bill.
But more or less, they have